Spazzy and Planty.
Hello YouTube, Spazzy coming right at you with another champion preview. This time around we're obviously taking a look at TAHM KENCH. I don't know if you pronounce it like that. He's a big fat toad of some sort. He eats stuffs. He's got a big tongue that he can Helmet, bro. You bastard! Initially, he was designed as a tanky top laner, but then he sort of like turned into support, so right now I think he'll function in both lanes. And on that note, let's dive into those abilities. His passive is very straightforward. It's called Acquired Taste. Your basic attacks and the spells that deal damage will apply this stack to an enemy champion. And once you have 3 of them and that little fish icon turns red, your Q and your W will have a different interaction towards that champion. Which leads us nicely into the Q. Because you can't really design a frog-like Nomi champion without a big tongue lash, which is exactly the name of the Q. You throw out your big tongue, you deal magic damage to the first enemy struck by it, and you also apply a nice little slow to them. Now, if you have 3 stacks, i.e. if the little fish icon is red on an enemy champion, and you hit them with this, they will instead also be stunned. Pretty straightforward so far, yeah? This ability also has one more awesome thing to it, but to explain that, we have to talk about the W, which is called Devour. And as the name suggests, you put a target into your mouth, you deal a percentage of their maximum health as magic damage, but you don't swallow them. No. You just keep them there for a little while, and then you spit them out. And depending on what kind of target you swallowed, it'll have a different effect. So let's run through all the options, shall we? If you swallow a minion or a monster, you can reactivate the ability to fire them out a huge distance and deal magic damage to anyone hit. Now, there was no range indicator yet on the PvE, but I guess you can probably see how far it kind of goes. Now, here comes the most interesting bit with the interaction between the W and the Q. If you fire out your tongue towards a minion or a monster, you can activate your W while it's flying out, and you can sort of drag them into your mouth and then shoot them at enemies. It's pretty cool, but keep in mind it only works on minions and monsters. It doesn't work on ally champion, it doesn't work on enemy champions, just on minions and monsters, okay? So how does the W work on enemy champions? Well, first things first, you need 3 stacks of your passive in order to devour them. So if you don't have that, you can't even use this ability on them. But if you do have that and you decide to go for it, you deal the damage to them, you are then slowed for 95%, which is huge. You can't really move that much. The enemies that you swallow will basically not see anything. It's like a big smoke screen from graves in there. And then you spit them out and you can't really throw them a far distance. You just... bleh. So to summarize, it's just a pretty straightforward lockdown CC where you kind of make the enemy untargetable for a few seconds. And finally, what happens if you put an allied champion in your mouth? When you do, you get a nice movement speed buff when you move towards enemy champions. And I like this because sure, it means that you can pick up an allied champion if they're getting focused and then just try and run away with them. But you can also use it very aggressively, like run out of the lane, pick up the jungler, then just charge at them and go like, surprise, it's a 3v2 now. Pretty cool. Let's move on to the E. It's called Thick Skin. It has a passive and an active. The passive is that if this spell is not on cooldown, any damage taken will be turned into quote-unquote gray health. And a percentage of the gray health will be turned into normal health again if you're left out of combat for a while. So you can probably already see the usage of this. You go in on bot lane, you trade a little bit, and then you retreat to the brush and you sit there for a few seconds, and then you come out and go like, hey, I got more HP again. Gray health, baby. And the active is that if you have gray health stored up, you can activate it to turn it into a shield that lasts for astonishingly 6 seconds. However, to not make it entirely OP, it sort of gradually falls off over that time. So an ability that makes you trade rather well and that lets you become durable as crap for a few seconds. Very good, very good. The ultimate is called Abyssal Voyage. And first of all, it has a significant passive, which reads that basic attacks and damaging spells deals an additional percentage of TAHM's bonus health as magic damage. To put that in layman's term, it means that every time you put a point in your ultimate and you're building health, you will deal more damage in general. Very strong, very important. Now the active, that's when it gets really interesting. You click on the map and on max rank this has a huge range. And when you do, you get a little automatic ping indicating that I'm going here, guys. And then you sort of sit there for up to 15 seconds with your mouth open. And if an ally clicks on you, they will jump in and follow you, traveling to that point where you clicked. Alternatively, you can just reactivate the ability whenever you want to go there solo, because he's riding solo sometimes. An important note is that champion damage will interrupt this channel. So it'll be really difficult to do it like mid-team fight. It's more of a ganking tool. there you have it. You probably see the potential already. I mean, this is a beefy support in an already beefy meta. Why not? Personally, I am a little bit more excited about the top lane potential because of how well he can trade, and also that you can sort of like roam down the river, pick up the jungler, and then just ult in, making it like 3v1 instantly in the middle. It's just really interesting. Add a teleport on top of that, you'll be back in top lane, you can contest dragons and all that stuff. I'm really excited about him top lane. We'll see how that goes. If you did enjoy this preview and it cleared things up for you, feel free to reward me with a little like and share it with your friends. Also, let me know what you think about this champion in the comments. I love how the comment section usually evolves when I upload these kind of previews, because you guys always have really good ideas of what you think about the champions. Also, I'll try and answer as many questions as I can. If you do have any, put them in the comments. And that's it. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. This has been Spazzy, and I am out.